Salus was a Roman goddess. She was the goddess of safety and well-being of both the individual and the state. She is sometimes equated with the Greek goddess Hygeia, though her functions differ considerably. Salus is one of the most ancient Roman goddesses. She is also recorded once as Salus Simonia, a fact that might hint to her belonging to the category of the Semines, such as god Semos Sancusdius Phidias. This view, though, is disputed among scholars. The issue is discussed in the section below. The two gods had temples in Rome on the Collis Salutaris and Mucialis respectively, two adjacent hilltops of the Quirinal, located in the region known as Alta Semita. Her temple, as Salus Publica Populi Romani, was voted in 304 BC, during the Samnite Wars, by dictator Gaius Ilunius Bubulcus Brutus. Dedicated on 5 August 302, and adorned with frescoes at the order of Gaius Fabius Pictor. The high antiquity and importance of her cult is testified by the little-known ceremony of the Augurum Salutis, held every year on August 5 for the preservation of the Roman state. Her cult was spread over all Italy. Literary sources record relationships with Fortuna and Spes. She started to be increasingly associated to Valitudo, the goddess of personal health, which was the real Romanized name of Hygeia. Later she became more a protector of personal health. Around 180 BCE, sacrificial rites in honor of Apollo, Aesculapius, and Salus took place there. There was a statue to Salus in the Temple of Concordia. She is first known to be associated with the snake of Aesculapius from a coin of 55 BC minted by M. Acilius. Her festival was celebrated on March 30. Salus and Sancus. The two gods were related in several ways. Their shrines were very close to each other on two adjacent hilltops of the Quirinal, the Collis Mucialis and Salutaris respectively. Some scholars also claim some inscriptions to Sancus have been found on the Collis Salutaris. Moreover, Salus is the first of the series of deities mentioned by Macrobius as related in their sacrality. Salus, Simonia, Sia, Segestia, Tutelina, who required the observance of a dies feriatus of the person who happened to utter their name. These deities were connected to the ancient agrarian cults of the Valley of the Circus Maximus that remain quite mysterious. German scholars Georg Wissewa, Eduard Norden and Kurt Latte write of a deity named Salus Simonia who is though attested only in one inscription of Euro 1 AD, mentioning a Salus Simonia in its last line. There is consensus among scholars that this line is a later addition and cannot be dated with certainty. In other inscriptions Salus is never connected to Simonia. Representation. Salus was often shown seated with her legs crossed, leaning her elbow on the arm of her throne. Often, her right hand holds out a patera to feed a snake which is coiled round an altar. The snake is reared up and dips its head to the patera. Sometimes her hand is open and empty, making a gesture. Sometimes the snake directs its gaze along with hers. Sometimes there is no altar, the snake is coiled around the arm of her throne instead. Occasionally, Salus has a tall staff in her left hand with a snake twined around it. Sometimes her right hand raises a smaller female figure. Later, Salus is shown standing, feeding her snake. This became the commonest pose. She is standing and grasping the wriggling snake firmly under her arm, directing it to the food she holds out on a dish in her other hand. Rarely, Salus is holding a steering oar in her left hand. This really belongs to Fortuna. A poem to the goddess Salus in the African desert. On the construction of the fort Abu Njem in the African desert, Centurion Ovidius Quintianus dedicated a poem to goddess Salus in the baths. Probably the poem was added directly after the baths were finished. The baths were consecrated to Salus, and we should ask why the centurion chose goddess Salus to put the baths under her sanction. The goddess is well adapted to the ordinary life on the site. Moreover, Salus granted not only health but also safety. The choice of Salus could also attract sympathy to the troops at Buenjem, which also would extend to the absent troops. The poem refers to the benefits of Salus such as Salutis Lymphis and Salutis Gratia. These were not only the waves belonging to Salus but also the benefits of the water and the care for health. In fact, the feeling which dominates the poem is solicitude and friendship, solicitude not only towards his home remainders in the camp, but also towards who will succeed him, and friendship towards the fraction of the garrison which departed in operation. The poem runs as follows. Q. Avidius Quintianus Centurio Leg 3 August Faciendum Curavat quasi multum quot memoria trader agens praecunctus in hac castra milites votum, communem progreditu exercitus inter prias a futuros redidumque Romacum digna nomina invenitandum nomine numen dea votus perennum quem. Dicer in hoc loco salutus igit quandium cultus sient qua potui sancti nomine cunctus dedi veras soltis lymphis tanta signibus inistis simper. Hernasis collibus nutantis ostri solus flammis fervidas tranquil et nando delinerent corpora ita tuci centus magnum facta gratiamis thuentis. Anime fusilari spiritum nolli pigia, laudum voce rediveram qui voluit esse sanum tibi set protestev el salutus gratia bibliography. W. Kohler in Encyclopedia del Arte Antica Roma Istituto Tricani 1965 S.V. The Inscriptions of Roman Tripolitania, eds. J.M. Reynolds and Ward Perkins, Roman London 1952, nos 918-919. Rebuffat. Les Centurions d'Ugolea, Africa Romana 2, pp 233-238. Rebuffat. Le Poème de Q. Avidius Quintianus a la Qtsse Salus, Carthago 21, 1986-7, pp 95-105. Omran. The Limes Numidae Tripolitanus under the Emperor Septimius Severus AD 193-211, unpublished Ph.D. dissertation, Vienna University Austria 2003. pp 76-79. Adams and Iasuktan. The Poets of Buenjem. Language, Culture and the Centurion 8. The Journal of Roman Studies, Volume 89, pp. 109-134.